Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome to my channel. It's time for some Sister Wives tea. Today we're going to talk about Janelle. Now, we have this running debate on my channel, like who's the favorite Sister Wives? And you guys are split, like dead center, down the split between Janelle and Christine. I am totally team Christine because I love her sass, I love her pep, I love her step, I love her car confessions, you guys. You need to follow Christine on Instagram. She has car confessions, and it's so much fun. They are so ridiculous. Sometimes they're not even that funny, but they are funny because she doesn't know they're not funny. You know what I mean? Anyways, others of you love Janelle. Now, recently I did a video about why Janelle is almost like the perfect polygamous wife because she keeps sweet and she stays on track with what Cody wants. She seems to stay in her lane. She doesn't really push back. In this last season, she was the only wife that wasn't under the wrath of Cody. In fact, Robin was fighting about a house. Mary and him were fighting about a property, and then they were like in a therapy session, he and Christine. Well, she ended up, thwarting his one house idea. Well, Janelle was the one supporting his one house idea. She was the one that was like supporting the property dispute between him and Mary. She was the one like, ooh, Robin, you probably shouldn't be talking to us about your issues with Cody. That's really not what we do. You know what I mean? Like she was that lady. Anyways, something that fans have noticed over the years is that Janelle has had this growth on her face. And so if we look back on photos, and this is sort of where we're going to go with today, because she actually was on Instagram a couple days ago on Tuesday announcing that she had to have something removed from her face when it started growing, and she couldn't actually get it, like it wasn't reducing or getting better with cream. So this was Janelle a couple years ago, and you notice there was actually nothing on her face. Even here a couple years ago, again, there was nothing here on her face. This was from her YouTube channel when she was like selling a product, like an MLM for like weight loss or something. Now, fans quickly noticed that in photos, especially here's one from Instagram where she started developing something on her upper lip. As you can see, it's right there. Now, I noticed it this year because it kind of reminded me of stuff I've seen on some of my family members, but I didn't really, it wasn't like cause for concern for me. But now looking back through photos of her only a few years ago and then seeing it there now, it's like, whoa, this wasn't there a couple years ago, and now it's like large and it's on your upper lip. And it was pretty prevalent, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. And it got to about the size of a dime. And then over time, we started seeing people on Reddit, like in the subreddit that sort of tracks sister wives, talking about this lesion or mole that was on her face. A lot of people were speculating it was a mole, or other people were saying they didn't know what it was, but they were really worried about her and they wanted her to go get it checked out. And, obviously this isn't good if it is growing at a fast rate. And it is growing, obviously, if you see that it's like nothing 2 years ago and then now there it is, right? So Janelle actually went onto Instagram a couple days ago, and she was talking about how she had noticed this on her lip and she actually had to have it removed. So she announced that she found out that she had been diagnosed with what's called basal cell carcinoma or carcinoma, which is a form of like isolated skin, CANCER, that grows on your face. And it's relatively common. It's one of the more common forms of it. It typically grows on the outer part of the skin. It's isolated to a specific area, and it typically can just be removed without having to have further treatment. So she said that it came, when she was telling people about what happened, she said it came on a spot where my cold sores have occurred for decades. So I didn't know cold sores could get up here, but maybe, I don't know. Anyways, she said, I'm so careful about sunscreen because I'm very fair. It never occurred to me that it could be skin, CANCER. So she said that she tried on different scar creams for what she thought was a cold sore, but she said that there was nothing that was changing it. So she ended up having to go to a dermatologist to figure out what was going on. Unfortunately, with everything that's been going on related to the stuff in the world and doctors having a more difficult time seeing patients, she said that in mid-April, she was able to do a telemed, like virtual visit with her doctor over the phone. And then she went in and had it biopsied about a week later. And then it was removed on Monday. So she said, finally in mid-April, they brought their telemedicine online and I saw my doctor. I had it biopsied and they removed it yesterday. I was worried because I'm a big baby when it comes to pain, but it was so slick. She said, I have so little discomfort considering that they had to take a dime-sized lesion off my upper lip. Scarring will be very, very minimal and it will take a few weeks to heal. She actually said that she's kind of bummed out that she waited so long to go see a doctor. She said that skin, C-A-N-C-E-R, does not, this skin, C-A-N-C-E-R, does not spread usually, but it's been a wake-up call to me to really watch my skin. I thought I was playing it so safe and with lots of sunscreen, keeping a good cover-up on at the pool and beach and wearing hats. I'll be playing it so much more careful and seeing the doctor right away if there is anything on my face next time, because some skin CANCERSs are not so forgiving. So good news is that they removed it. She shouldn't have any other issues, but as she was saying, she does need to be more diligent she'll be more careful, which is also good news. My mom actually went through something very similar to this and had to have some stuff removed off of her nose, which has made my mom very diligent about this kind of stuff. My mom also is very fair, just like Janelle. So not sure like if someone brought it to her attention that she should see a doctor or not. We know that the sister wives do use doctors, sort of. They're not as like some of these people in these like communities, they are so anti-medicine, but the sister wives have had like Christine had Truly in the hospital. While some of them have had home births, other of them have had hospital births. They don't seem to be against like utilizing medicine if they need to, but they also seem really heavy on sort of those natural, like skipping medicine. Like for instance, with Isabel, when the doctors said that she would need to undergo a procedure to fix her scoliosis, they were preferring to try to do it with like weighted things and exercises to improve the back, knowing that research was showing that the best form of actual improvement for Isabel would be to be going under the procedure to repair her back. So we know that they have some resistance to using medicine. So it's really good to see here that in this case, she did not bypass medicine. She went to her doctor, she consulted them, and she had it removed. In some forms of melanoma, it can be very aggressive. And I only say this because I lost my friend JB about 10 years ago to a very aggressive form of it that is not as forgiving as what she has, which was basal cell. And I'm grateful that she did this because once it gets underneath the skin and gets into the organ of the skin and starts spreading, it can metastasize very quickly, and it can be very, very, very not a good prognosis. Obviously, my friend JB passed away when he was 35. So I have like a penchant in my heart to bring awareness to this kind of stuff. So I'm really grateful she took the steps that she needed to take. I think people on Reddit will be breathing a little bit easier knowing that she is taking care of herself. Obviously, when you notice things like that and you notice changes on your skin, you should always consult your doctor. This was a relatively significant change for her. Typically, you can see a primary doctor or you can go to a dermatologist if you have specific concerns. And in most cases, like in the basal cell, they can just lance it off they don't even have to do it under general anesthesia. They can do it typically under local anesthesia. So even though she's a little bit sore, she'll probably be much better for it. And she'll have that nice, smooth face that we have known and grown used to over the last decade. So with that being said, Sister Wives is still, it's not on air right now. The season just ended. There has been a lot of stuff in the news about a season 15. Christine has been dropping stuff. We've had Cody interrupting Mary. It's been a wild week of what? Sister Wives news. So here's some good news for Janelle. We took care of you. You got taken care of. You're going to do good. We'll see you whether or not, we'll see like what else comes out in the next few weeks. Will Cody interrupt Mary again? Will they have to take out more loans? What's going on with their property? Are all of their storylines fake? Do they actually not get along? Are they not even really wives? Are they not even really friends? These are all the questions I have in my brain. You can tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Are you glad to hear that she'll be making a good prognosis? Or are you, I guess you should be glad, right? Right? I mean, who would be upset about that? All right, you guys, I'll be back later with more.